Hey guys, this is Pyken with your patch 13.11 mini guide for Pyke. As soon as you get into the game, you should already know what to start. For Trinket, it's if your jungler is like a level 2 ganker, like a Jarvan for example. This way you can ward the Tribush or the river. And then go sweepers if their level 2 jungler isn't a threat. You use sweeper to clear any wards for your cheese, and then to gain bush prio. So for your starter items, always go double potions just to be safe. You can go one potion, but that's kind of greedy. And then the main focus here is starting sickle or shoulder guard. You want to start sickle if you're playing aggressively, because sickle gives 1 extra AD early but less AD later. It also gives a mana regen, so it allows you to play more aggressively. And with this playstyle, you'll complete your quests much quicker, meaning you'll have a lot more gold earlier. And then for shoulder guard into neutral or poke heavy matchups, or losing matchups, this is because you get 1 less AD and you the health regen helps a lot, and then also you get to help your ADC with farming, right? So less gold on shoulder guard, more gold on sickle. And then for your core items, well, refillables really isn't a core. This is kind of optional, but I do get this very frequently. Refillables, you can sell one of your remaining potions for refillables if you have like 120 gold, for example, or you can just grab it if you think it'll be useful. But if you're planning to roam a lot, refillables is not needed since you'll be basing a lot and you won't be like laning, right? Boots is very important on Pyke. You can hold on to this tier 1 boots, or you can upgrade it early. Serrated Dirk, obviously a core item. It'll upgrade into like Umbro or Eclipse and all the other lethality items. Pyke is very reliant on control wards since he'll be having sweeper most of the time. And it helps with like jungle ganks, helps with bush control, stuff like that. And then for this patch, cloth armor and no magic mantle will also be a core item for Pyke. This you have 2 build paths kind of. So one is when you're ahead. This is the ideal build path. You want to rush Eclipse. You don't go Umbro with this build path unless you want to play like for vision. But usually you rush Eclipse, then you sit on Serrated Dark, and then you go Wardens or Hexstreaker. So this can be swapped, the order. If their threat is AD on hit, you go Warden's Mail. If their threat is like a fed mage, you go Hexstreaker. And then you go the other item next. So if you went Hexstreaker, you go Wardens. If you went Wardens, you go Hexstreaker. And for your build path when you're behind, you want to roam. So ideally you rush mobility boots, but this is optional. You can rush Umbro as well, but ideally you get mobility boots first to like instantly roam and impact a different lane, and then you slowly build into Umbro. And for the other items, it's like completely situational. Like if you get more gold later on, you can go Eclipse. If not, if you're like turtling on gold, like you're super behind, build these defensive items, go Wardens into Hexstreaker. You can skip your mythic item completely with this build. You can also go Umbro into Edge of Night. It's very situational. And then these items you can sell your support item for. It's pretty situational. But if you're extremely ahead, you're 1v9ing, you can sell your support item for Prowler's Claw. If you need to side lane and split push because your teammates can't 5v5 for some reason, you sell your support item and you go Tiamat. But these are usually when you're super late into the game. These are viable items but with less value, in my opinion. It's kind of like for fun items. You can go collector or axiom. I personally don't recommend these two items, but they are viable in some games when you're extremely ahead. And then this is back to the original build here. So once you're done with this build path, in that specific order, you have to decide what to upgrade your Distributed Dirk into. It can be Umbro, it can be Serpent's Fang, or it can be Edge of Night, usually. But you can also upgrade it into Collector or Axiom if you want. And then for your situational items, this is QSS into like CC, heavy CC, like Thresh Q, for example. Edge of Night is also good into Thresh. It's good into Malzahar R, Mordekaiser R, things like that, if they're specifically targeting you. Stopwatch can be very useful for preventing shutdown gold or for a very important fight if you have 750 gold to spare. And then later on into the game, you can get Elixir Wrath for more damage, for max damage, or Iron for tenacity and move speed for your team. I do like upgrading to Farsight late game if you're like side laning, or if you're really behind and you want objective vision but you can't really face check. And then Last Whisper, kind of niche, but it's into like if you need armor pen, into like people who are stacking armor. Vigilant Wardstone did get nerfed. It's a lot harder to buy now because it's so much more expensive, but super late into the game, if you want to control vision, Vigilant Wardstone is still good, but it's like 1.3k extra gold or some shit. Super expensive now. Deadbands is good into like a lot of bruisers with movement speed, like Hecarim, Garen, Trinimir, things like that, if you just want to gain distance. It's also great for side laning. It's also a great boots replacement since it gives move speed, right? You can upgrade your stopwatch into GA later on into the game as well. Or if you're super late game and you just need GA for that extra life. Static Shiv is super rare, but it could be like a combo for split pushing as well. So this is if you're going like Tiamat, or it can be a replacement for Tiamat, or you can just get Tiamat plus Static Shiv for like Omega Wave Clear. I've tried Death's Dance. I feel like it's not that good. Since it doesn't give that much armor in comparison to like to Frozen Heart. But you can go Wardens into Death's Dance if you want, if they don't have like a lot of attack speed for the extra armor, if they're like mostly armor, no MR threat. Brambo's Vest is good if you want armor and Grievous Wound, and then Executioner's Calling if you want AD and Grievous Wound. I think Brambo Vest is better because armor is really beneficial for Pyke, whereas 15 AD is like meh. And you can just sit on both of these as well. Berserkers, super situational if you want to backdoor, or mainly if you want to backdoor, like their inhibs, their nexus, things like that. And then you want to upgrade these last, your wardens and your maw. So the idea is to sit on these two items, get them super early, because I feel like if you upgrade it, it's like a waste of gold. So you upgrade these last. That's the whole point of this build. And then don't forget to upgrade your boots whenever as well. It's whenever you have to go, you can upgrade to Tabais into AD threat, Mercs if you need tenacity, Mobius if you want to roam, Ionians if you want to snowball and have lower CD on your sums. Also for the ability haste. Swifties if you're like 50 gold short from Ionians or some shit, or if you just want to be fast in fights. It's also good for slow wrist, but Max is pretty good at that as well. But yeah, that's just Swifties is usually if you can't buy anything else, and you have just the right amount of gold for tier 2 boots, but not enough for anything else. And that concludes my mini guide for patch 13.11. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.